Once upon a time, there was a king ruled in a kingdom. He was very brave and a good fighter. He had won many wars and had conquered several states. He was just and helped people who came to him with their problems. The people of his kingdom were very happy and lived peacefully under his reign. The king had several courtiers in his court who used to advise him on various issues. But the minister was a very intelligent man. The minister used to speak very little, but he always taught and said everything correctly and wisely. The king always considered his advice very seriously before taking any action. In a small village near the capital, there lived an old lady who was all alone. Her husband had died a few years ago, and she had no children. She had chicken pox in childhood. It left spots on her face that made her look ugly. Despite this, everyone in the village respected and loved her. She made sweaters to earn enough money to live. Her neighbors, Mr. Adam, his wife Elizabeth, and their 2 children, Anthony and Maria, cared for her like family. She loved them as if they were her own. One morning, she woke up early and went to the kitchen. First, she boiled some water for tea, then added 2 teaspoons of tea leaves. After that, she poured a 1/4 cup of milk and 1½ teaspoons sugar and let it simmer. While the tea cooked, she boiled an egg, peeled it, and sliced it. She sprinkled a little black pepper and salt on top and set it aside. Then, she took out a small bowl and filled it with about ½ cup of cereal. She added ½ cup of milk, then chopped up some fresh fruits like an apple, a banana, and strawberries. Finally, she poured a spoonful of honey. After that, she poured the tea into a cup. Then she spread a small mat on the floor, sat down comfortably, and enjoyed her breakfast. After breakfast, she went to her room, took out her knitting materials, and began working. She picked up the soft pink yarn and started knitting carefully, her needles moving quickly. By the end of the day, she had finished a beautiful pink sweater for her customer. The next day, Mrs. Johnson arrived to pick up the pink sweater. The old lady handed it to her with a smile and said,
"Your order is complete."
Mrs. Johnson took it, her eyes lightening up.
"It's beautiful,"
she said, handing over the $30.
"Thank you so much. It's just what I wanted."
After Mrs. Johnson left, more customers began to arrive. each with a smile on their face.
I heard about your work,
said one, handing over some pieces of yarn.
Can you make a sweater for me too?
The old lady nodded.
Of course. I will complete it for you in a week.
Another customer spoke up.
I would like one in blue. Please. How much do I owe?
It will be $35, including the yarn.
The old lady replied, taking the payment.
Thank you. I will pick it up in a few days.
The customer said with a smile. After taking orders, the old lady got to work. As the clock neared noon, the old lady felt a sudden craving.
Time for a lunch break,
she said, leaving her knitting behind. In the kitchen, she cracked an egg into a bowl, whisked it with a pinch of salt, and cooked a fluffy omelette. She placed the omelette between 2 slices of bread, adding a little cheese and lettuce, and sat down to enjoy her sandwich. The next day, the old lady needed blue yarn for her next knitting project. So she went to the shop. As she picked out the blue yarn, she called to the shopkeeper.
How much for this, my dear?
The shopkeeper smiled and replied,
Mother, it's $5.
The old lady nodded and paid. That night, after dinner, Mr. Adam, his wife, and kids came. The old lady quickly made some tea.
I see you are still busy with your knitting,
Mrs. Adams said, admiring the soft pink and blue sweaters.
Yes. I have got more orders,
the old lady replied.
You are always working so hard, Mother.
Mr. Adam added, taking a sip.
Well, keeping busy keeps me young,
she laughed. While knitting one day, the old lady noticed her sight was blurry. That night, she visited the doctor, who said,
Your eyesight is weakening. Rest your eyes. And stop close work like stitching.
He gave her medicine. After paying the fee, she returned home and took the medicine. Despite the doctor's advice, the old lady couldn't stop her knitting. After a few months, her sight worsened, and she couldn't knit anymore. Worried, she thought,
how will I manage my kitchen expenses now?
At lunchtime, the old lady went to the kitchen and saw that the lentils were finished. Only rice and flour were left. She boiled the rice and ate it with tomato sauce. The old lady went to Mr. Adam and shared her worry, saying,
I want to go to the city and find work as a maid, but I don't know where I will live.
Mr. Adam replied,
Don't worry, Mother. My relative's house is empty. You can stay there, and I will give you the keys.
2 days later, the old lady packed her things and, in the morning, left her house. Mrs. Adam and the kids were sad to see her go. Mr. Adam handed her the keys and address, and she gave him her house keys.
I will keep your house clean,
Mrs. Adam promised. After reaching the city, the old lady opened the door to the empty house, cleaned, and set her things. That night, after dinner, she went to bed early. The next day, the old lady went to the big houses asking for maid work. But people closed their doors, frightened by her appearance. At one house, a woman slipped and hurt herself, and she blamed the old lady for causing it. At another house, a man's expensive vase fell off the shelf as she passed by, and he angrily shouted,
You have brought bad luck!
The old lady quickly left, feeling even more isolated. Rumors quickly spread that she was a witch, and soon, more people began to avoid her. The king also came to know about this rumor. He ordered,
Go and bring that old lady into my court.
The soldiers felt very worried and scared. One said to another,
If something bad happens to us, who would save us?
The other soldier replied,
Dear, if we do not go and catch the witch, the king will definitely kill us.
The soldiers caught the old lady and brought her to the court. When the king saw her, his secret messenger, who lived in another state, suddenly entered his court. The messenger bowed and said,
Your Majesty, I have urgent news.
The king was surprised. The king then left the old lady and went to another room to have discussions with his messenger. The messenger said,
The king of the neighboring kingdom is preparing to attack us, and he will be here soon.
The king remained very busy and upset the whole day. He did not get any time to take his meal. Soon, this news had spread in his entire court and palace. The next morning, when the king entered his court, the old lady presented in the court. One courtier said,
Your Honor, you may also notice how hungry you had to remain throughout the day, after seeing that old lady. This lady is indeed an ugly witch, who brings ill luck to everyone.
The king ordered.
May this old lady be hanged tomorrow. I do not want to see her face ever again.
On hearing this decision, the old lady pleaded.
Sir, I am not a witch. Please do not kill me. Believe me, Your Majesty.
The king remained adamant and did not listen to her. Then the minister said,
Sir, can you please postpone the death sentence by a few more days? As I want to investigate all this.
The king agreed to postpone her death sentence by 1 week. After 1 week, the minister went again to the king and said,
Sir, she is not a witch at all. She had come to our city to find work. But people mistook her for a witch. When she came to the court, that was the time. When the messenger came with the useful information. Don't you think that the lady was lucky for us?
The king heard his minister and thought carefully. He then said,
You are right. You have saved me from committing the sin. Thank you.
The king then ordered to release the old lady and gave her a monthly stipend to support. Moral: false rumors can cause harm, but truth prevails in the end.